to the Committee of the Whole House stage of the Administration of Community Sentences and Orders Bill, and I want to thank Minister Anne Tolley for bringing this bill to Parliament and continuing the work of the National Government in providing efficiency within our corrections service. And why does that matter? I mean, why is it so important to improve on efficiency? Because in doing that, we will hopefully have better outcomes, not only for the prisoners going through our correction system and onto community sentences or onto community sentences, but it will aid in the rate of non-reoffending. So we don't want people who go through our corrections system, we don't want to see them again in the corrections system. We don't want to see them again experiencing community services. So all this government can do to make the administration of the systems around corrections more efficient, then hopefully the better the outcome we will have. And so Anne Tolley, when she introduced, or Honourable Anne Tolley, when she introduced this bill to the House and gave it to the care of the Law and Order Committee, made it very clear that that was her aim and desire, was in improving the systems, we would improve the outcomes. And already we have seen a drop in crime, we've seen a drop in youth crime. All the trends are going the right way in the corrections and in the justice system, and this piece of legislation continues on that good work. And so two bills were introduced to the House to remove barriers to the efficiency and the effectiveness of the administration of correction sentences and community sentences. So the committee and the House has dealt with the Corrections Amendment Bill, and that part of the work relates to prisons and corrections, and that was passed through the House last month. And now we are moving in a timely manner with the Administration of Community Sentences and Orders Bill. So that's the bill we are addressing today. So what this bill does is it amends the Bail Act and it amends the Parole Act and the Sentencing Act. These acts play a large part in the governing and administration of sentences and of orders in our communities through our correction system. So the introduction of extended supervision orders, and that happened in 2004, and with sentencing and parole reforms in late 2007, left some procedures for managing offenders in the community rather unclear. And the previous speaker, Chris Whafoi, who I want to thank for his work on the committee, and my regret that he has moved on to another committee because he did make a worthwhile contribution, worked collegially when it was appropriate and asked the tough questions when it was appropriate, did point out in his intervention that a community sentence with a GPS might be described as or in a circle on an offender's property. Previously, that offender, if the mailbox was just outside that circle, they would be going against the community sentence if they walked out to the mailbox to get the mail, or, I don't know, chase the cat or something like that. So there were anomalies that were easily identified, and we have sought through this legislation to make the measures around community sentences more pragmatic, more workable, more efficient, and more helpful, not only to the probation service but to the prisoners themselves. So this bill provides clarification. It introduces a number of minor policy changes to improve effectiveness and efficiency of home detention, of community-based sentences, and also the new electronic monitoring regime. And I just want to talk a little bit about the probation service. And as a part of our investigation into this bill, we went out to the hut and met with the probation service and the work they are doing with community sentences. It struck me what a long way our corrections and our whole justice sector has come in such a short time in the desire for a good, strong, rehabilitative approach to reintegrating prisoners out of the correction system through community sentences, if that's the pathway, and if it's just the community sentence, then reintegrating them back into society, Mr. Chair, in the best shape so that they can go out, have good lives, get a job, have skills, and not return back through the loop, knocking on the door of the district court and going back into the correction system just to waste another part of their lives. This is a good bill. I congratulate the Minister, I thank the committee, and I commend the bill to the House.
Ko Esanati Lolo Taylor.
Thank you, Mr Chair. Today I rise on behalf of New Zealand First to speak to the bill at its committee stage. I think we all agree that law and order is very important to our country. It is crucial not only to maintain order in our society, but also to ensure safety and maximise security for all New Zealanders. We are all aware that some of our citizens continue to break the law, and some fail to behave in accordance with the law, and some just don't know any better. So it is possible to imagine that human perfection is likely to happen anytime sooner. And New Zealand First supports the move to remove barriers in managing offenders in the community in a manner that is safe, that is humane, secure, effective, and of course efficient. It is important that New Zealanders have confidence in our justice system, that offenders are made accountable for their actions to the community they have offended against. It is therefore crucial that the way we manage offenders in our communities is done with no room for any mistakes or any errors. We all know the consequences of mistakes. It leaves communities worried about their safety, something that we should not allow to happen. This week, we read in the news of a 19-year-old and his girlfriend who violated a young 10-year-old girl. The administration of community sentencing and orders bill must close loopholes that could lead to this kind of immoral and unacceptable behaviour in our community. The Select Committee report proposed amendments that intended to improve the original bill. Those amendments are encouraging. Community-based sentences were introduced in New Zealand for many reasons. It would be interesting to see a report of any improvements since its introduction. They are to reduce the incarceration and relieve prison overcrowding and offer a more appropriate sentence to crimes of less gravity and reduce costs to the Department of Corrections. So why then, after 2 decades of non-custodial sentences being introduced, we have become a nation with too many